Greetings, peace, love, and life, family. Welcome back to Moments with Mila. Welcome back. Thank you all, as always, for taking this moment to spend with me. Although it won't be just me tonight, but at any rate, thank you for taking this time to come in and to join in on this discussion, to listen to this discussion. What I wanted to talk to you all about tonight. Uh,
I'm sorry, excuse me. I see
it's a
two sisters standing.
what just happened.
Why are the sisters standing and the brothers sitting?
My apologies. Go.
I don't know what just happened, so I think I'm back. Okay. Jumping the gun here. But no, just thank you all for coming in and taking this moment to spend with me. I wanted to talk a little bit on what is a Black woman. I'm a Black woman. And I know for some people, they don't like using the term Black. They want to say we're everything but Black. But we're going to get into that too. But I am a Black woman. And being a Black woman, seeing some of the things that I see, experiencing some of the things that I experience when trying to build relationships with other Black women, when trying to, I guess that's the root of it, trying to build relationships with other Black women, trying to share information, sometimes can be difficult, right? And sometimes I've just wondered for myself, does that come from us just not knowing who we are, not knowing what we are, allowing society and everyone else to define us but us, even allowing, I won't even say allowing Black men to define us, because as our mates, they do have the right to define us, right? They come from us. So they do have an intimate experience on what it means to be connected to a Black woman. So therefore, they should be able to speak on what that means in a way, right? You may look at a Black woman and say, "Oh, this is a woman of sub-Saharan African descent, a melanated woman, so many other terms, Aboriginal woman, an autochthonous woman," right? And so we give so much power to terms. We give so much to ideas, sometimes that are not even our own, to the point where we lose ourselves. We lose ourselves in every way. So I wanted to just come on. I have a clip that I'm going to share later on, but I wanted to come on tonight and discuss what that means to us as Black women from the perspective of Black women talking about it, right? And I wanted to do that not just from me, not just what Mila says, what I think, because this show is my opinion. It's me usually working out or me sharing moments like this that I feel contribute to our overall wellness. That's what it all comes down to me. Because when we're not thinking in our natural right minds, we're not well, right? And so again, it's not just my perspective. I have two sisters that I love very dearly, who I respect very, very highly. And they're not the same age as me. They're not, we're coming from different walks of life and different perspectives. So there's more that I want to share. So I'm going to bring them on, and then we're going to continue. I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you all. They're very, very capable of doing that. You know them, but I'm about to bring them on. So I have Sister Crystal Denise. Peace, sis. How are you?
Greetings. I am well. You looking well yourself?
And as are you. Well and
I'm so
healthy.
excited. Yes. I got up this morning and went to that fitness center and got it in. So I find that I do better if I do it in the morning.
I know, and
So
see, and that's me. I have to get up in the morning and get it done. So that's very important. If you get that done, then it's downhill from there, or really is uphill, because everything
right.
is up after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Everything.
All right, you want to tell the people a little bit about yourself before I bring on Sis Sade?
Sure, y'all. I know most of the people on. I was looking at the live stream on YouTube as well. So greetings everyone. As Sister Mila said, I'm Sister Crystal Denise. I'm here in the northwest corner of Mississippi, Senatobia, Coldwater, Tate County area. originally from Arkansas. And I am so excited about the conversation tonight because it's long overdue. And I'm sitting in front of my altar. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I have my parents on there, my grandparents, my great grandparents, aunts, cousins, and so on. And just feel real strongly, feel their presence strongly because they were such great role models for me in what it means to be a Black woman. So I'm excited. Oh, y'all also know I've been dubbed the frontline librarian by Baba Imawalama Rudy, and it's
That's
a
right.
title that I take seriously. And it's always an honor. It's like Walter Payton says, when you're good at something, you tell people. When you're great at something, they'll tell you. And so the title is highly appreciated. So y'all sit back, just keep the comments section lit up. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know if you're receiving it so we can continue to be inspired.
Absolutely. Ashe. Ashe. And on that note, I'm going to bring in the beautiful sister Sade. She's going to tell us about herself. She's going to make that introduction and we're going to get started. Pieces.
You on mute? Yeah, there you are. Uh-oh.
Not right now.
She can talk.
I think is it muted?
No, you're not muted. She's muted. No, she's not muted.
Let us figure out this technical difficulty real quick.
Yeah.
See what's going on. Okay, I think she's going to come back in. But again, we're going to be coming from three different perspectives. And although we are from three different walks of life, we're going to talk about what kind of led us to be in the same place at the same time. So we're going to talk about sisterhood. We're going to talk about a lot of things tonight. And it's all going to come back to that central term, what is a Black woman? All right, I'm going to bring sis back in. Can you hear us, sis? She's out being the mogul mom that she is and traveling. So something is happening in the area. Let's see. That Zoom. No, it's like the StreamYard.
So she can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't hear anything.
Okay. That's her audio on the phone.
All right. So we're gonna see what happens. Trying to work on that and see what's going on with the audio. But I wanted to go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to come back to Sis Sade, but while she's working that out, I want to tell you all what I do know. And as I've told her a million times, she's like the daughter I wish I had. I do have, but I just didn't give birth to her. Okay. She is a younger Black woman, a natural Black woman who is an excellent mom. She's one of the biggest supporters for the Ashe Academy, which is in Coldwater, Mississippi. I've talked about that a few times on the show. Before we get into it, I've told you all about Tutoring Tuesdays, which is happening at Kemet Coffee in Coldwater, Mississippi, every Tuesday from 4 to 6 p.m. No, that is in Senatobia, Mississippi. Ashe Academy is in Coldwater, but Kemet Coffee is in Senatobia, Mississippi. And they're hosting this. It is free of charge. A beautiful Black woman and her husband. We're talking about what it means to be a Black woman. It means to be a person who provides resources and so much more. We're great. We just are. We are that. So I wanted to, while we continue to work on those technical difficulties, I wanted to start talking about this from the historical perspective and moving on up to now and how we define ourselves as Black women. So my question that I want to pose to my sisters is, from a historical perspective, how do you all see or define a Black woman? I'm going to start with Sister Crystal, of course.
So that question, I pondered and I meditated on it some, and I really started thinking about some of our sheroes, some of our ancestors, some of our elders, and just some of the attributes that they possess. And the first thing that came to mind was goddess, because we know God is force and power, something, a force that makes things happen. And when I think about the Black women that I've been around and fortunate to still have in my life, some make things happen, but we do it in a goddess space, in a humble manner, not bragging about it and talking about it, just doing what we do, right? Making ends meet. What they say, make $1 out of 15 cents.
That's right.
Make a way out of no way. All those. Then I thought about nurturer. I often laugh and that's like, I'm so disgusted because Kara called me today and she was like, Mama, I don't feel good. Can you make me some tomato soup? And I was like, girl, you know how to cook. But it's such an honor to have my children call me and ask me if I would cook or how to cook something. One day last week, she called me and asked me, how did I cook something? I forgot what it was, chili, I think. And so just having, them to call me and to be my best masterpieces, because they are, and seeing what they become. And people tell me, well, they're taking after their mom. Being a role model to my children is one of the most rewarding experiences that I have had. So I take pride in being a nurturer, and not just to my children, but everybody really that comes in my space, creating a place of peace. I was looking at someone had posted, I need a place where I can do this, 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 and this. I'm like, you create that. What is your home? What is your, you don't just have a house, you create a home. You create a loving, nurturing environment, not just for your children or for your spouse, but for yourself as well. Nurturer, peacemaker. I'm big on peace, keeping peace. I don't like chaos. I like order. And so, I just think that as Black women, we are all those things. And I guess God is kind of encompasses those as well. But just being that person that is loving, caring, giving, humble. I really can't stress that enough, because, modest, all those things come into my mind when I think about Black women and kind of how we're moving away from that. And it's really disheartening. It's kind of disheartening.
And thank you so much. Thank you, sis. And and that what you said speaks volumes, especially when you're thinking, like when you came on, you showed your altar. Those are the examples that you had in your life. We saw, we've seen throughout history how Black women have endured so much, have in spite of, limited resources and circumstances, still been excellent providers for their family in the right that they should be. I'm not talking about doing the man's job. I'm saying being that nurturer, being the caretaker, being the teacher in the home. So that's something that many have moved away from. When you look at that historical perspective, it's always been that way. We've always been but the foundation in our families. And now it's just almost, it's this thing of, we're going to get into that too, but it's this thing of, well, if you don't bring this to the table, I'm not going to do this. If you don't make me feel this way, I'm not going to be a nurturer. I'm not going to be a woman. I'm going to be everything outside of my nature. But as a Black woman, that is who you are.
Right.
That is who you have always been. It is your identity. It is in your DNA, so one thing that I would say that leads to a lot of the mental unwellness is not identifying with your history, not identifying with who you are as a woman. The further you move away from that, the more you make things difficult for yourself, because you're acting outside of your nature. So your daughters are seeing a beautiful example, just as you saw the beautiful example, because you're following your nature. You know, you're allowing that to happen. They're seeing that and wanting to be that. That should be the goal for all mothers. All right. I hope
Right.
that sis gets to come on in soon. I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah, me too.
Because her perspective is so valuable. I want to speak for her, but I really want you all to hear from her. Because she has a lot to offer, just as Sister Crystal, just as she has a lot to offer. So we're gonna move forward. So family, understand that we may go back to a couple of these because I know she has some things that she wants to share in that regard. But and so with that said, sis, you know, I know you and I have talked at length about many of these, much of this, so much in so many ways. Some things, you know, I'll share on here. Some things we can't share necessarily.
Right.
But what is your take on? And I know we've talked about it some, but what is your take on this whole narrative of being a strong Black woman? Why do you think that? Or well, do you think? I know what you think, but for purposes of this show, do you think that Black women are necessarily these strong women? And are there any dangers in having that mindset of being a strong Black woman?
So, some years ago, when I was working, y'all know I'm a librarian, and this book came through the library. It is titled "When Chickens Come Home to Roost," and the subtitle is "My Life as a Hip Hop Feminist." You know, I'm not a feminist person, you know, at all, but I just remember that she had written something in this book, and when I read it, I was like, "Whoa!" So, you know, I'm big on, you know, taking the good and leaving the rest. So she was writing about strong Black woman. That's the title of one of the chapters in the book. And from her perspective, she said, the strong Black woman is the exalted stepsister of the Miss Southern Belle. And the strong Black woman, the phrase has roots in the antebellum South, and it was used to justify everything that was done to Black women during that time. You know, kill your husband, kill your children, take your children, rape, murder, everything. Oh, she can handle it because she's a strong Black woman. And so when I read that, I was like, woo, that's deep, you know, because we don't even realize what we're saying when we're saying it. That, you know, we can handle anything that they throw at us. But we can't handle anything that we need to do to make things happen for us. So, you know, I don't like the term after reading that because I think we're more resilient than strong.
Absolutely.
Because I think you know, strong is a masculine term to me as well. And I know we have both energies and I know all that, but still when you say strong, it really does mean that we can handle anything. And I think that that's not true. I really don't, because we see it. I mean, all you have to do is get on social media and see the weaknesses that we possess. I mean, you post any and everything. We post any and everything on there. We show any and everything on there. We say any and everything on there. And that's not, you know, sometimes strength. I mean, silence is strength. You know, but it's just a misnomer that we need to stop repeating and stop saying, and really show our strength if we're strong and stop saying it. So I don't like it because, you know, I made a post one time and said I'm not a strong Black woman. I need my man. I need our men. I'm resilient. I do what I had to do to survive, but I need men. I needed my father. I needed my uncle. I needed my grandfather. I need a significant other, a compliment, as Barbara Rudy likes to say. So, you know, I could go on and on, but I'm gonna let you give your view on it as well.
Absolutely, sis. And you know, that's likewise same thing that I've always shared. I do not like that term. I don't like to be called or told, you know, oh, you made it through this. You're such a strong Black woman. I have strength. I have the ability to be strong, right? I can lift things, I can endure so much, right? But I don't identify as being a strong Black woman. I'm a resilient Black woman. I am a powerful Black woman.
Right.
And also in that regard, I understand that my strength, or my power rather, it comes from my femininity. I don't have to get out here and be a man, act like a man, try to do things that men do to prove that I'm somehow strong. It's really an insult, and it's hard to get a lot of women to understand that. But when you talk about things like, medical terrorism, we know the history on that. We know the current implications of that Black women are, when we go into hospital to have babies, if you have pain, you're ignored because, oh, you're a strong Black woman, you can take it. You might die, but it's okay. You're a strong Black woman. You might be able to come back to life. Strong Black woman, right. And we know the history. I can't think of the man's name, but y'all know the gynecologist who,
I was
performed
just
all
thinking
those
about
procedures.
him.
I can't even think of his name. It escaped me just like that. But so I don't like that term. I don't like it at all. I don't appreciate it. I take offense to it. I had a brother one time to come in. I shared a post a while about, I'm similar to what you were saying. I don't want to be a strong Black woman. That's not my nature. I'm a resilient woman. And he came in, he said, no, Black women are strong. They've endured so much throughout the years. I'm like, brother, you just said we're resilient.
Right.
What you're saying is we've overcome so many things because of our experiences, right? So it's a term that I don't like. I don't think fits us at all. I think some of us have allowed certain things to come into our life, certain damages and traumas to affect us in such a way that or we feel like we've been done so poorly by, any man, not just a Black man, but by men in general. So we and sometimes that does happen where a woman has to take on certain responsibilities and she has to protect herself, and it makes her hard. It makes her hard, but it still doesn't make her strong. It makes her resilient and capable and able to take care of herself and to not be both roles, because a woman can't be a man. I don't care what she does. A woman cannot be a man. One more time. A woman cannot be a man. Okay? Let's leave the strength to them. Okay? All right. We are resilient. We are powerful. And again, our femininity, that is our superpower, right? That's our muscle.
That's right.
Y'all see my muscle. Okay, I don't get into that. That's another show. All right. So on that note, I believe Sister Sade is back in the building. So we're going to bring her on and let her introduce herself. And we're going to backtrack a little bit and keep moving forward. Peace, sis. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Greetings, everyone.
Greetings. Yes. All right. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Then we're going to kind of bring you back in to the fold. Even though you're in the fold, we're going to bring you back in and refold you.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Sade. I am 30, living in Mississippi, homeschooling future farmers. If there's no farms, there's no food. So we got to grow food, y'all. Everybody got to eat. So that's me. I'm passionate. I'm very, very passionate about growing our own food, raising our own children, homeschooling, teaching our own children, and just being better people. Each one teach one, each one reach one. We gotta live here together. Can we all do better?
Absolutely.
I don't want to say y'all getting along because
no, we're gonna
we all just be better individual people. If I work on myself and you work on yourself, we working on ourselves, the world will get better.
That's right. Absolutely.
But we got to work on ourselves.
First, it starts with self. Everything starts with self. Everything that we do, we can't be what we need to be for our men, for our children, for anybody if we don't first, make sure we are that for ourselves. So I'm gonna backtrack. We've talked about it a little bit, but I wanted to ask you, and then we're gonna kind of jump over and move forward. As I said to everyone, as I've shared to you, as I have, I give you your flowers because you deserve them. You deserve a garden, and I'm working on planting it for you. This is step one.
Thank you.
What makes you, as a younger Black woman, what makes you not want to be a woman who follows the crowd. And I want you to frame that from your historical perspective, your experiences as a Black woman, as a young mother. What has kept you on a path to make things better for your daughters, for your children?
Well, when I was younger, I did want to follow the crowd. Okay, I wanted to do everything that all the other girls in high school was doing, and but for some reason, I still wasn't fitting in. I'm doing everything they doing as well, but I'm still the outcast.
Yeah.
So for me, I said, well, if I'm doing what y'all doing, and I'm still the outcast, I might as well just do what I want to do. I might as well just do my own thing, be my own friend. So that's what I started doing. And I just started doing what I like to do. I like to be out in nature. You know, I like the clothes that I wear. They don't have to be name brand. If I like it, I like it. And I'm going to wear it.
Mm-hmm.
And with my babies, I wanted to homeschool. I didn't want them learning that Christopher, I can't even say his name right, that person found in America. He didn't find nothing with people already roaming around on it.
Right.
That's right.
So I wanted to teach my babies the truth. I didn't want them going to school for 8 hours a day, learning
That's
lies
right.
all day long, being stuck at a desk, stuff like that, learning from white women, because 90% of the teachers in schools are white women. And then for me, the one Black guy that worked at my child's school, he was gay. So I definitely didn't want to enroll my 2 sons in that school system, looking up at this tall Black man and he sissified. No, my sons was not going to be learning anything from him.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
Not a ABC or 1, 2, not a nothing. No.
I feel you.
You
I
can't
love
even teach
her.
my son how to be a boy or a man. How you gonna teach
Yeah.
my baby?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I listen.
No.
You are free to speak, but listen.
No.
I totally understand, and I peace to the family that's coming in. I apologize. Peace, sis Nikki, sis Rose, sis Tiana, Professor Carl is right here. Peace, everybody. Peace, family. For joining in tonight, we do appreciate you all coming in. Definitely a discussion that you want to be a part of. Make sure to comment, like, share, subscribe if you haven't already done so. But definitely tune in and feel free to comment as you need to. Peace, Uno. I don't know Uno, but Uno comments a lot. So we thank you, Uno, for supporting the channel and for tuning in tonight, leaving your comments. So, all right. Yeah. So I knew Sade was going to speak her mind, but that's why she's on here, right? Okay. So listen, and we also kind of touched on what that means to be a strong Black woman. So I know you kind of listened on that, but if you wanted to add anything to that, feel free to add to it. And then we're going to go on to the next part of this conversation. But how do you feel about that when somebody says, "Oh, you know, you're taking care of your children. Oh, you're such a strong Black woman." You know, I don't like it. No, Sis Crystal don't like it either. But what's your take on it?
A part of it is definitely an insult because, for example, when I'm out in public with my children and someone tells me, "Oh, your children are so well behaved," that's not a compliment to me.
Right.
Because like you expect my child to act like a wild animal. But why do you expect that? Because I'm Black?
Right.
Because they're
Right.
Black children? No, my children are well behaved because I'm teaching them to be well behaved, because I'm teaching them to act like they have manners, to show their manners, to use their manners, not just know that you have them, but use them.
That's right.
So it's not a compliment to me. Not necessarily, no, because I already expect that. And then on the one hand, it's like, well, I'm a human, you're a human, you have bones, I have muscles, you have muscles. So yeah, if I'm doing a push-up or sit up, yeah, it's gonna be some, yeah, I'm strong.
Yeah.
I mean,
like I said, we have strength.
We birth children. That's strengthened in itself. Now you may have some ABC letter people, you know, talking about transplants and this, and they about to birth son. You ain't gonna birth nothing. I don't care what you think you got inserted in your body. You ain't finna birth nothing.
That's right.
That's not strength.
It's
You're not
exclusive
strong.
to women. I
Okay?
say on that.
It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
races of women who their bodies can't even carry. Normal women
Yeah.
can't even carry. What makes you think you about to have a transplant and be able to carry something?
Right. Right.
So
They
we
want
have
the honor.
Yeah. And you know, it's
we
just
have
it's
strength,
that big agenda to
natural
blur the
feminine
lines.
strength.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
strong black, it does sting a little bit because you expect me to be a single mother. You expect me to pick up all the load and do it myself. You expect me to do that. That's why you're saying, oh yeah, you're a strong black woman because
Yeah.
I am capable of doing those things. But no, no. I still operate out of my feminine strength. Absolutely.
Right.
That's powerful. That's powerful. And you know what you said is very valuable in a sense. And I hope that some sisters are picking up on that because a lot of times we get so used to doing these things and we don't realize that it's expected. People just expect us to be this
Right.
way. So that you're right. You're right. But even in doing that, you've managed to maintain your femininity. You're a natural woman. Your children listen to you. I listen. I'm proud of you. I can't stress that enough because I love my children. But there were times, let me tell you, there were times. So, but I have seen you just persevere through whatever, like, you know, and I think it's beautiful, you know,
But no,
even
the
as
credit goes to you all because I do not do this on my own. Mama Crystal is around, Mama Mila is around, Mama Catherine is around, Brother Patrick is around, Brother Carl. The kudos goes to the village that are helping me raise my children.
it's
I'm
the
not
village,
doing this alone.
but it's you who sought the village.
Right.
It's you. It's
I
you,
remember
sis.
when you
So,
first called. A couple years
yeah.
ago when you first called and y'all came to the summit that first year when we first met. I remember, you know, you sought us, you called us, you came here.
That's right.
So, you know, and it's really amazing because, you know, you have 4. I had 3. So, you know, you have one extra little body than I had. So I know what it is. And then I had, you know, I could, when I moved to Mississippi, I could call my parents and they would come over, you know, but it's like I just told Brother Carl, I said, she is at a farmer's convention and she has her children. Always have your children with you. That's
Always.
commendable because I know people with one, maybe in this house, you know, that's why I've been trying to get Brandy to kind of link up with you so that she can, you know, learn from you.
Yeah.
And watch you. You're a role model to so many. You don't even know. You're a role model
Don't
to
even know it.
older women, you know, that are older than you. So I just want to commend you on such a well done job.
Absolutely. And I can't stress that enough. I know she probably get tired of me saying it, but it is what it is. I
Mhm.
learned from her still, and I'm 44 years old. Okay.
Right.
All right. I just want y'all to understand that. So much respect to you. And you know, again, that's just even if we look back and we say, wow, I didn't have the best examples of Black women in my life, or I had some good examples of Black women, they just didn't happen to be in my family. We
Right.
had them. We caught them along the way, or at some point along our journey, we linked up with Black women that we identified with as, you know, wow, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, or this is the path that I'm supposed to be on, or it could be this way if I just did this, or, you know, return to myself. So on that note, and of course, we're natural sisters, and let me explain that because I had an interesting conversation this morning, actually in the airport with a sister, and a brother approached me, and he simply just said, you know, I love your locks. Like, how long you been growing? People ask when you have locks and things. They, you know, and I said, oh, you know, coming in 8 years, and he was like, wow. He said, and it's all yours. I said, yeah. I said, why wouldn't it be? There was a sister. I want to tell you about that too. There was a sister beside me, and she had the faux locks. And I don't know what made her do it, but she just kind of came into the conversation, and she was like, why are you acting like it's such a big deal? Locks are locks. Locks are locks. I mean, it was like this. It was weird. It was just like, you know, he was like, excuse me. He was I don't want to say preppy. But he was a well put together brother, you know. But he's kind of looked at her like, what? Why are you even in this conversation?
Right.
You know, but she was listening to that conversation and somehow she took offense to it, you know. He said, "Man, I was just complimenting a natural Black woman." She said, "We all natural Black women." He said, "Is that your hair?"
Wow.
Y'all, I'm like, don't beat me up. You know, I'm just
Right.
here. I said, whoop. So I kind of went on over and found a plug and plugged my phone in the wall so I'll be able to get from the airport later. But anyway, the conversation went on a little bit with he and I. But all that to say, why is it that so many Black women can identify, or they try to say, this is just us talking, y'all listen to. But why is it so many can say, well, I'm a strong Black woman. I take care of myself. I'm a natural Black woman. But everything about you is not you. You know, you're walking around with, listen, we're gonna keep it real. Can we keep it real? Because I am. I'm sorry, I ain't got no filter. I'm doing my best though. I promise you, I'm working on this. We walk around with hair that isn't ours. I'm not gonna get started on the eyelashes because I got somebody in the room that might go crazy with that. We're putting these eyelashes on, right? No, seriously, I want y'all to think about this. We're the most, and I'm gonna say, we're the most beautiful women on this planet. We are the original women on this planet. We are the prototype. So why are we selling ourselves short by trying to look like other women? And here's the second part to that. We're trying to look like every woman but us, yet we, Black women, are leading in clinical obesity. We have the highest than any other women, the highest morbidity, mortality rate. It's us. But we're trying to say that we're strong Black women, we're natural Black women, we're this and we're that. But yet, white, other women of other races, they're focused on fitness, training their bodies, training their minds. If there was ever a war, they'd be ready. We wouldn't be ready because we'd be too busy trying to look like what we think they are, right? And some of them are trying to do the same thing. They're trying to look like us. So if we're going to emulate them, why aren't we emulating the health and wellness? Why aren't we emulating true self-care? Why aren't we trying to get trained, tactically trained, right? Why is it always the aesthetic? But we say we love being a Black woman. If you love being a Black woman, why, Black woman, are you trying to look like every other woman? Do y'all feel me on that?
100.
Has that been your, Sis Sade, what's your experience with that? With women who say they love being a Black woman when they don't look like a Black woman or act or anything like a Black woman?
I think it starts with their childhood. I think it starts with our childhood because most of our parents didn't. Most of our parents showed us what Disney movies, princess movies, Rapunzel, white girl, long hair, blue eyes. We were programmed to think that that is what beautiful is.
Yeah.
We didn't have that self-representation. So now we're adults now. So yeah, we have the representation, but it's still distorted.
Yeah.
So we still have the fake hair, the fake eyelashes, the fake nails, because deep down they just don't have an image of themselves that they can call beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Absolutely.
I think
Representation matters.
Childhood.
It does.
It started from childhood. Had we had better representation from a child, maybe we would grow up and think that, you know, we are beautiful. My natural hair is beautiful. My natural eyelashes are beautiful. First of all, I could never get them things on. They hurt my eyes. After that, I was done.
I'm happy you could never get them on. You don't need them.
No.
Thankful.
But I'm glad I could never get them on either because I have eyelashes.
Right.
You know? It's fine if you, let me say this. It's fine if you're a cancer patient or somebody with alopecia or something like that. Yeah, do what you got to do to feel beautiful, sis. Go ahead. But if you got hair on your head, if you got eyelashes, just take care of yourself. Take care of what you eat can help grow your hair, clear up your skin.
Absolutely.
All of that. Grow your nails, all of that. Take care of yourself, and yourself will take care of you.
Come on. Come on.
That's
Y'all
my
hear the
thing.
young sister speak? Yeah, I agree. 100%. 100%. It is all about wellness. Like I said, it all comes back to wellness. Everything that we're discussing truly comes back to wellness and representation. And before I go to you, Sister Crystal, or let you finish, I just want to interject one thing. You know, it's very true that most of us grew up with Barbie and seeing all these images, right? That's very, very true. But also, most of us grew up with a different religious ideology, right? Being told that this is what you should believe. And but guess what? As at some point, for most of us, not all of us, but for most of us, we grew up and we realized fairy tales are fairy tales, fables are fables. You know, these things aren't really, they don't make sense. So at some point, I understand and I respect everything you're saying. And I agree with you completely. But as Black women, at some point, we have to say, you know what? We know this. We know that Marilyn Monroe was pushed on us as opposed to Dorothy Dandridge. We know it was like this. So when do we change? Why do we keep going in the same direction? Yes, that affected us as children. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. But at what point do we say, you know what? I know this is not my natural state. This is not who I am as a Black woman. So I have to be accountable and say, it's okay for me to have my hair. It's okay for me to have kinks. I was born that way. It's okay for me to just be me and be comfortable in my skin. Because if I say I love myself, I need to really be able to look at myself and say, I love myself. Yeah, I didn't have, so many images or whatever of Black women growing up, but I have them now, you know. I see two beautiful Black women on this screen. So for anybody watching, you're looking for representation, it's there. Look at these sisters. It's there. It's in your community, in your neighborhood. Those women you talk about and call nappy head and African and Angel Ma, all you talk about those women, but those are the most confident women. Those women are happy. They're mentally well because they are who they are. They're not out here pretending to be someone else. So at some point we have to say, yeah, we had those issues. We had, the poor representation, and our mothers were doing the same thing, straightening their hair, telling us not to speak this way, not to talk this way, etc., because you need to fit in and assimilate, right? We had that. It was beat into us. But at some point, we all wake up and realize that the tooth fairy is not real. Okay? Black women with walking around with blonde hair, unless you're from that island, it's not you, sis. Okay, it's not real. So, Sister Crystal, go ahead and share your take on that, and then we're gonna do a reaction to that video. I want to lead into that as well.
Okay. So everything you all said is like right on point, and I couldn't help but to be reminded of what Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. said. If you don't understand racism, white supremacy, everything else that you think you know will only confuse you. And the whole role of white supremacy is to keep us confused. So a lot of times you don't know who you are, like Dr. Amos Wilson said. If you don't know who you are, who's the one that tells you you are, right? And Sade, you are so on point with imagery in Disney movies, and it's a constant barrage. Like look at the alphabet people now. Look at that. Everything time you turn on the TV is something, right? And so we all know that also racism, white supremacy recreates and redefines itself. So when we were growing up, it was one message. Now it's a totally different message. I remember when Kenzie was like maybe 4 or 5, somewhere in there, and her mom was watching Snow White. And she was like, come on, Kenzie, come watch Snow White with me. Kenzie was like, no, I don't watch her because she ugly. And I was like, oh, okay. But then she said something else that just made me just stop. She said she's ugly because she don't have blonde hair like Elsa in Frozen. And I was like, whoa. It's like, okay, that's it. No more Frozen, no more of this crap. So, we see it and we grow into it, and in this fascination with blonde hair by Black women is really mind-boggling to me, because it's a recessive trait. And I think maybe we don't know that as a collective. It's not blondes have more fun. I'm like dumb blonde. So the fascination with straight hair and you know, I've heard a lot of Black women say, you know, I'm about to slap this perm back in here because, you know, it makes my hair more manageable. And one thing I can say that when I learn better, I try to do better. So Kara, my youngest daughter, she never had any type of chemical in her hair. No perm, no relaxers, not anything. And through the years, I have watched her take care of her hair, manage her hair. She figured out her curl pattern. She does what works for her. And I've never heard her say anything like, I can't do anything with my hair. I've never heard her say that. And so it's about how we perceive it as well, because I always told them that their hair is beautiful. I've always told them that their hair is versatile, that they could do anything they wanted to with it. If they wanted to wear a puff, if they wanted to flat iron it, if they wanted to wear it braided, you can rock it any kind of way you want. And so, you know, I've always tried to have them Black dolls. Even when in my ignorance, I never bought them white dolls. I never bought them clothing with white girls on it. I always tried to have something cultural in the home. And so, you know, imagery. And now, you know, I find myself, I was watching TV a little bit last year, more than I usually do. And I found myself looking at myself, criticizing, being very critical on how I was wearing my clothes, how I was, you know, call myself plain Jane, you know, just trying to want to jazz up myself just based on watching TV. So we all know that we're the largest consumers of television. And so what we're looking at, we're trying to live up to these standards that we see on TV. So it's a constant wrestle, a constant battle, you know, when you're talking about the way we look and the aesthetics of how we look, because we're always have so much coming into our brain computer, as Mama Fresh Chris Wilson says. We always have so much coming in, and you know, we have to think about the areas of battle of entertainment is one of the largest ones, and because we like to be entertained, and so we want to look like our celebrities, we want to live like them as well. So yeah, it's just so much, and so I really try to watch what I watch and listen to, because I'm so big on, as I've gotten older, on defining my needs and wants. I want to decide what I need and what I want. And I find that life is abundant when you live that way. I don't need a new car. I don't need a big fancy house. It's just me. So, and you know, my children. So what do I need all that for? So, not getting caught up. Not getting caught up. I know that comes with age and maturity sometimes. And having an example. My father was a great example in that regard. He always taught us that less is more. And so I'm finding that is very true.
Ashe. That is powerful, sis. I absolutely agree. I mean, y'all have said nothing that I don't agree with. Peace, Brother Demetrius. Thank you for joining tonight. We appreciate you commenting, coming on in. Make sure you share as well. Powerful. Listen, we're gonna keep going, but I want to share a clip that was shared to me. And it's again, we're going back to why so many Black women are suffering from a lot of mental, I won't even say illnesses, mental deficits and situations, right? And sometimes self-inflicted, because there are some foundational things that we've truly lost when it comes to our Black men. And without the Black man, there is no Black woman. Without the Black woman, there is no Black man. So we have to figure that out. But I want to share this clip with you all, and then we're going to react to it.
I'm sorry, excuse me. I see two sisters standing. Why are the sisters standing and the brothers sitting?
We want to sit. We can ask.
Well, you ladies got to speak up for yourselves.
Same 40 years ago.
There's no statute of limitations on chivalry.
That's gendered and sexist.
And polite.
And patronizing.
And polite.
What kind of law do you practice?
I'm a criminal defense attorney.
You ever represent domestic violence defendants?
Many times.
Knowing that they're guilty?
Meaning what?
Meaning you have a choice.
Watch it. Someday you may need the Sixth Amendment.
Oh, that's lawyer talk.
Oh, I see. So we got a Sarah Lawrence soul sister in the band.
Oh, I'm not your sister, asshole.
Oh, well,
I'm not an asshole, sister.
settle down. Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, excuse me. I see two sisters standing. Why are the sisters standing and the brothers sitting?
Well, you know, from my father, from my uncles, men in general in my life, one thing that I've learned is that respect is truly like love to men. You know, honor really matters, but respect of your elders. And whew, that clip bothers me. It bothers me. For one, I just love Denzel. I know he's an actor and he's not, I don't know him personally, but I love Denzel Washington. Okay, so I feel a little emotional about that. But let me say this. Let me ask you all this. How do you all feel? Of course, we know the importance of the relationship between a Black man and a Black woman, but why do you all think we've gotten to the point? Well, some sisters have gotten to the point where no matter the age of the Black man, you know, somehow he doesn't deserve respect. How does that? And not only that, when you listen to other cultures and other people in general speak about Black women, that's a label that's often attached to Black women: disrespectful, dishonorable, unaccountable, you know, all of those things. And when you see a clip like that, how does that make you feel? And why do you think that so many Black women, because you have to be comfortable with it, so many Black women are comfortable with that label and continuing to perpetuate that idea of who we are? I'll start with you this time, Sister Sade.
Listening to that clip, I would think that some Black man somewhere, at one point in her life, must have hurt her. She has to have some bad, negative relationship with some Black man to just, if that was her, you know, in the clip, if that was her first time meeting him, you have to have some experience with a Black man that just made you really hate all Black men. I can't think of any other reason you would women do that. A lot of women can't take a simple compliment from a man without thinking that he's trying to get in her pants.
True. Very true.
Or a man speak to you, automatically think he wants you. Like,
yeah.
He may
Very
be
true.
saying hello, maybe to be a nice person.
Mm-hmm.
I say hello to people all the time, men and women.
That's right.
I'm trying to get into bed with everybody, no. Just being polite. Yeah. I don't know. And then, yeah, I'm shocked because I don't act.
Yeah, you can't relate to it.
You know, the other women act. So it really does shock me to see some of the things that these sisters do and say.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, really?
Yeah. I agree fully. I agree
shocked,
fully.
speechless.
You know, and that has been
I've
an
been
experience
hurt
too.
by, for me,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You have to do something to me for me to treat you. Have to do something to me for me to act that way towards you. You know, I don't just act that way just because I woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Yeah.
I may do have an attitude, but trusting you will never know it.
Yeah.
Until you do something to me first.
That's
you know,
right.
Don't mess with me because I don't mess with other people.
Mm-hmm.
That's me. So I'm speechless.
Yeah.
I don't know where their head is, where their mind is.
Yeah. You know, and I'm gonna just interject real quickly before you, Sister Crystal.
One more thing. I've never felt comfortable with calling another Black sister a bitch. I've never done it.
Come on. That's right.
I can't do that. Because for me,
Right.
that is not a term of endearment. It is not a term of love. It does not say you're my best friend and I'm the only one that could call you that because we this close. If I'm calling you that, trust and believe I don't like you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's me though.
I agree. I absolutely agree. That's something that Carl says often too. You know, it's hard to um you know, be unkind or be unloving when you say my sister, my brother. But if you're calling somebody the B word and the N word, it's like you're gonna treat them like nothing because that's how you see them. So you're right. You know, if you're saying that, you don't see them in that way. You know, and I just to go back to something else that you said, I've had that experience. You know, where a lot of times I could be leaving the gym or just leaving the store. You know, and brothers sometimes have said, just thank you for speaking to me. Thank you for not thinking that I was trying to come on to you. Thank you for just making eye contact with me. Thank you for seeing me. You know, I do exist. Just because I'm a man, I'm not trying to hit on every woman. You know, a lot of times our men are, and this is kind of, I'm trying not to get too much into something else we're going to talk about on another time, but sometimes our men, you know, they suffer in ways that we could never really understand. And sometimes something as simple as showing that respect, showing that they're seen and heard, you know, it goes a long way, you know, toward our wellness, toward their wellness, toward wellness of the collective. So, but Sister Crystal, how do you feel about that video?
You know, this whole permission to disrespect the Black man is getting way out of control and
Absolutely.
rewarded to do so. And so I think, you know, my generation, you know, I'm the oldest. I think a lot of us
Barely.
have been the seed planters of this vitriol because, you know, some of us
Yeah.
didn't take the nurturing, didn't take the guidance. We took something else and we saw our mothers, we felt like our mothers and grandmothers was just taking too much shit, for lack of a better word.
Mm,
And
speak on it.
so we became these bitter women. Although we had great men in our lives, we still let that one experience cause us to be bitter. You know, I say it all the time. Yeah, I know some men that don't do what they're supposed to do, of course. But for everyone, I know at least 25 that are taking care of business. There are fathers, our grandfathers, our uncles, our cousins, our brothers, our nephews, our sons. But we act like they don't exist. Stop letting the minority define the majority. Every time I go to the park, I see brothers out there with their children, holding it down.
Mhm.
And to just call a man an asshole because he is being polite? Come on now. Who does that? I'm not your sister, asshole. What?
To an elder.
What? Right. And so, you know, that you just brought up another point, this whole slippery slope of not having to respect people who are of a certain age. Well, we have some elders and we have some elders. Well, a lot of our young people don't have discernment to decide who's an elder and who's an older.
Right.
And so everyone deserves respect until they do something to, you know, not be worthy of respect. That's just me. That's just how I am as a person and how I teach my children and those around me. Everyone is deserving of respect.
That's right.
You don't know him. Oh, you don't like what he does for a living? Well, why are you there? Are you there to cause trouble? Are you there to cause a scene? So, you know, what are the motives? What's causing all this drama? It's like we are addicted to drama now. We thrive on it. And so, you know, just makes me think of who in her life gave her permission to think that it's okay to speak to an elder that way.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What examples are we providing for our children? You know, I'm big on role model, big on it. I guess because I work with so many disrespectful young adults. I see it. Brandy went to the football game last night. She was like, I came home because I got tired of the people behind me talking, young ladies talking about everybody on the homecoming court, their dresses, makeup, everything. So I was sick of it, so I came home. And I when I was going to the football games years ago, the disrespect. They would say anything around anyone under the guise of I'm keeping it 100, I'm being real. But you still got on your hair and your makeup and your eyelashes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just a so much, there's layers to the onion. And we got to be brave and courageous to call it out.
Yeah.
I know we seem like the minority, like we're screaming in the wind,
Yeah.
like we're talking to that brick wall over there. Just be examples of what it is, because it's getting tough, y'all. I see it every day. Every
I
day.
absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. And it's just like it's a perpetual, it's a low level of boiling contempt for Black men. And what does that say about us? Again, you love yourself so much, but you hate your man. You hate your man, this man you produce, and that definitely cannot positively contribute to our wellness. That it has to stop. And like you said, even if it feels like we're screaming in the wind, we can't stop. Because if we don't,
and it's self-hate. I think did
Yeah.
anyone say that yet? It is self-hate.
Oh, it's definitely
You
that.
don't like your own eyelashes, so you wearing fake ones. You don't like your own hair, so you wearing fake hair. You don't like your own nails, so you wearing fake nails. It is self-hate. No matter how you try to flip it, twist it, turn it, relax it, shave it off, whatever you want to do, it's self-hate.
Yeah. It absolutely is. And it's self-hate, and it's a lack of self-respect. You can't respect anybody when you don't have respect for yourself. So it's almost like they're acting in their natural nature. Well, I don't have respect for self, so why do you feel like I gotta respect you, Black man, older or elder? I don't have to respect you. I'm out here disrespecting myself, calling myself out of my name. I'm all kind of B's and H's and all. I'm everything but a Black woman. And maybe it's because I don't know what a Black woman is. Maybe it's because I've been exposed to so many, as Sister Sade brought up. So my representation has been Marilyn Monroe. It's been, I can't even think of somebody in the pop culture right now, but it's been somebody that wasn't a Black woman. So I don't know what it means to be a Black woman. I don't know what it means to be a nurturer. I don't know what it means to be a part of a team. I don't work well with others, so I can't work well with a Black man.
Listen to the music. Listen to the music. The music that they, if you got a constant diet of Cardi B, Meg, and all these other artists, you don't have any, I'm a whatever. So, and I don't care what anyone says. It's not just entertainment. It's not just music. It's more than the beat, because I find myself singing and I'm like, why am I singing that? And so, it's in you. It's in you. If you listen to that, if you're listening to that, music carries a frequency, whether we want to admit it or not. So if you constantly listen to that, yeah, it's gonna take shape in your life.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And so I won't hold you all. I know sis Sade, like I said, she is always on the move. She is on the go, doing what she needs to do. Sister Crystal, I appreciate your time. I want to end this just on, we've kind of already touched on it. And like I said, we have more to come. There are going to be more shows. I just wanted to introduce this one and start it out with what we're going to be talking about. What is a Black woman? Because again, we don't always hold ourselves accountable. We don't hold ourselves accountable. Let's just say what it is. You got too many yeses, agreeing with things and all this kind of foolery, right? It's too much of that going on. We don't tell the truth about who we are. And maybe it's because, hey, baby, maybe it's because we don't know who we are. That's a serious question. When I ask that, what is a Black woman? There are many Black women who don't really know. And it's for those reasons. Like Sister Sade brought up, it's because they never saw it. It was never represented. So how can you be what it is that you don't know, right? All right. Peace, comfort. Hey, Serenity. Hey, everybody. Those are my babies. The babies that Hey.
Mama Mila.
Yes.
Hey, babies.
I love y'all. I'm so happy y'all
Nothing but
enjoying
love.
everything.
Yes. Come back and teach us something.
Absolutely. We're gonna be waiting for that lesson, seriously. And Saturday school, we want to hear about that.
Mhm.
And so I want to end with one final question for today. I know we've talked about it, we've said it, we're going to build on this a little bit more later. But Sister Crystal, what does it mean? Not what does it mean, because we know what it means to you. What do you love about being a Black woman? And before you answer, I'm asking this question because for those Black women who are still stuck in this state of self-hate, still afraid to leave the house without makeup, still afraid to actually focus on truly being well, focus on your body, your health. If you're afraid to focus on those things, you know, sometimes hearing from other sisters who are, I'm not saying better than you, but who are at a point where they have accepted who it is that they are. Sometimes hearing that helps. It triggers things in the minds of those sisters. So, and Brother Demetrius says, my wife Latoya is listening in with me. She loves the conversation as well. Ashe. Thank you so much for having your queen to come in. We appreciate that so much. But sister, I want you to share because I love you. You know, I'm proud of you. I'm so thankful that our paths cross. I'm a bit of a hothead, so you help me. You know, I have my moments and I have sometimes a lack of filter, but I love being a Black woman. I love surrounding myself with Black women who love being Black women. So what do you love about being a Black woman?
Ooh, love that question. That's a great one. I love the divine assignment. I feel like it's a divine assignment to be a Black woman. We are the givers of life. We created every other person on this planet, right?
You better say it.
And when you think about it that way, it's like you gotta be unapologetic. I have grown to be an unapologetic Black woman. I stand in who I am. You know, my whole being now, my whole goal, as they say, goals, mine is to be unapologetic in every space that I occupy. Whether it's my home, whether it's my job, whether it's at the culture center, whether it's at the football game, wherever it is, I want to be unapologetic. So you know who I am when I enter your space, any space, you know who I am. And so I have my boundaries. I have, you know, this is who I am. You take it or leave it. I'm not into no more code switching. I'm not into the whole double consciousness anymore. It's exhausting. And I want to be free to be Crystal Denise. So I love being natural. I love, you know, taking care of myself, being a role model. Just and you have been such an inspiration for me to get it back together physically. Because as we know, everything is connected. Because when you feel good about how you look, you in your right mind. When you're in your right mind, that means you're gonna get up and get moving and do what it is that you need to do to be on 100 all the time. But just it's a divine assignment. So when you think of when I think of being a Black woman, I think of it as being a divine assignment. So that encompasses so much. I'm a teacher. I'm a leader. I'm a follower too. You know, I listen. I'm a learner, lifelong learner, of course. So, oh man, it's just a beauty in being a Black woman. We set trends, we create them. And I did want to read from a little bit from this book.
Go ahead.
From Dr.
Please.
Wing, because she has defined what we need to be. We need to be African women. We need to get back to what we already know, like Professor Small told us, that go back and fetch it. But she has some attributes of African womanism, and I'm just gonna read down the list, and I want those watching to listen and see if you identify with any of these that she has listed. But this is chapter 4 of the book, and she starts off by saying definitions belong to the definers, not to define. And that's powerful because Amos Wilson told us that there's power in being able to define. But that
That's
quote
right.
came from Toni Morrison's Beloved, the novel Beloved. But anyway, here are the characteristics that Dr. Weems lists. She says that being an African womanism means that we are self-namers, self-definers, family-centered, genuine in sisterhood, strong. We already talked about that. I think
Mhm.
I agree with Sade. My femininity makes me strong.
Absolutely.
In concert with male in the liberation struggle, we're whole, authentic, flexible role player, respected, recognized, spiritual, male compatible, respectful of elders, adaptable, ambitious, mothering, and nurturing. And I'll leave it there.
And that's it. And that, I think we lost Sis Sade, but like I said, y'all, she's out and busy and taking care of things. Powerful. That's it. You truly, truly said it all. And for those who are listening and who are still struggling in that aspect, trying to find yourself, trying to figure out, where you belong, trying to be free. Get that book from our master librarian, our frontline librarian. Get with her if you're looking for any other reading materials too that will help you along this journey. And that is the biggest thing. Freeing yourself as a Black woman, returning to yourself. And what is a Black woman? It's everything that Sister Crystal said and so much more. Again, we are the original woman. You have autonomy in defining what a Black woman is for yourself, but it's hard to have a definition of what a Black woman is when you have no foundation, right? You have no role models, no examples. You have to stop turning those away who are trying to lead you in the right direction and lead you to the right resources. Because when you get to that point where, I want to say it again, when you are free and when you are on your divine assignment, then you are well, then you are on that journey to healing. Get therapy if you need it. I can't stress that enough. That's something that we need. But that's it. I really don't have anything else. I don't have anything else to say after that. You said it all. That's it. That's it. I know one thing.
Dr.
I'm
Weems
thankful to
said
be.
it.
Yeah. I'm thankful to be a Black woman. I don't want to be nothing else at no point, no time. I don't care how hard it gets. Listen. I don't want to be nothing else but a Black woman.
Mhm.
I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for who I
Right.
am, where I am, what I am.
Mhm.
And on that note, Sister Crystal, thank you. Sister Sade, thank you. I know you're still listening somewhere. And thank you, family, for pulling up. I do appreciate you all. This is the first show. There are going to be many more to come. But again, we want to just introduce with that topic. And I promise you, there will be more. So on that note, peace, love, and light. And remember, if you remember nothing else, be a beautiful Black woman, and nothing, absolutely nothing tastes as good as being healthy feels. Until next time.
Ashe. Peace.
Ashe. All right.